Are you desperate for Christmas, my love? We're shredding papers. We're shredding beautiful envelopes from friends. Hey, silly boy. Why, hello and welcome to this video. In this video, things are looking brighter. And yes, as you can see, I am now in Lisbon at a little studio apartment just for the weekend. I'm here to come and do my annual Lisbon Christmas lights adventure, well, which is now going to be annual because last year was the first year I did it. So this year will be the second time I do it and I absolutely love it. We come down for the weekend, we stay at Airbnb as we do, and I go out and I go and look at the Christmas lights. So it's a little studio apartment and I've already put sheets on the bed. It has its own little entrance. We're staying in Sintra. And yes boy, we're staying in Sintra and it is actually very cozy and quite warm in here because the heater's been on. A little coffee station, a little kitchen, there's a microwave and a small little bathroom, but you don't need more than this, right? So yeah, this is our base for the weekend. In this week's video, I move away from building kitchen cupboards and I do two other tasks that I've been needing to do for a while now actually. One is to brighten up my bedroom space and finally get some paint on the walls, which I haven't done in over a year actually. And the other was to put some paving in the olive courtyard. And now, while you're watching what I've done, I'm going to attempt to go out, shoot some Christmas lights, and I'll see you at the end and hopefully share some Lisbon Christmas lights with you. This is Girl Meets Farm. We have a nice sunny day and maybe one or two more sunny days this week before the rains come again. And I really wanted to try and get this room painted. For those of you that have been watching for a while, you will remember that last year, September-ish, I wanted to paint these walls, but I never got around to it. And the year before, when these walls were actually painted for the first time, the cement was still so wet that literally as the first layer of paint went on, it seeped and just cried out the walls. And I've never gotten a chance to actually paint these walls properly in this room. So I wanted to give that a go this week before winter really sets in full force. But today I opened the tin of paint and I realized it's not a normal paint. It is a structured or a textured paint. I've never worked with structured or textured paint before and I've heard that it can get really messy. The reason I thought it was a good idea when I spoke to the salesperson at the paint store was these walls are not necessarily in the greatest shape because the construction workers actually replastered over an already plastered wall without scoring into the wall. So the very small layer of plaster is now starting to crack. So I thought structured paint might actually solve that. If this is going to be too messy to work inside, I'm going to give up this plan and go and buy normal paint, interior paint. But I didn't want to let this whole tin go to waste, so let's give it a try now. No. I'm not loving this. I really didn't like the structured paint, so I went and got normal paint. Unfortunately, they didn't have the brand that I really liked, so I settled for another good brand, but I don't know how this is going to go on the wall. I sanded this off where I tested the structured paint. I really hated that. So let's try the normal paint. Alright, it seems to go on well, so let me do it properly now. I will touch up all the tricky bits with a brush. I'm actually really enjoying how this paint is going on the wall now. I think I'm still going to try and do 2 coats, but it's really making a huge difference. And I think this corner behind me, which always looks absolutely terrible, this will be the true test of this paint. So let's see what it does. Before. Let's just zoom in on these really bad areas. Probably bad to see in this light now because it's already evening. My little paving step has been finished. Yay! It's time to finish these pavers off, and inside this bucket is Nick's mixture, suggested mixture of 3 sand to 1 cement. Unfortunately, my sand is a little bit wet. Even though I try to keep that really dry, it just doesn't seem to stay dry. Anyway, so we're gonna try and just brush this in to the pavers to finish them off. Yeah, since it's not dry, it is not really spreading so easily. We're gonna try our best. Unfortunately, the paving did not go, or the paving filler did not go according to plan. I think I need to wait for summer until my sand is perfectly dry so it can go into the gaps, because when it had dried out, I washed this off with water, and you can see this is the end result of that. All the filler basically washed out. We shall attempt this again in dry conditions. So much better. So much better. Already. 2 coats. Excuse the mess. Look how bright this doorway looks. I've even managed to paint the inside, the little window as well. Still debating whether I should paint the bottom or not. I probably will, but white just looks so dirty. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. So now this window looks really bleh against these beautiful fresh white walls. You guys know how I tried doing this window twice now already, but the white seems to be not working so well and the rust comes through. So I think I'm gonna go with all of your suggestions and paint it black. Oh, this wall and these walls were really difficult to do because they're so wavy, and it wasn't an easy paint, but look at this, it looks amazing. So I still need to do this wall and this wall, and of course now that everything looks so nice with the paint, I probably need to start doing all these finishes as well. But when I get the big things out the way, then I can start doing the finishes of the door and of this passageway as well, where the bad plaster work is chipping off. I am going to be putting some kind of a border around the space so that looks a little bit better. And of course I need to still use horrific spray foam in this gap here and do a nice trim just on the end here. Yes, yes, yes. Did you spot the paint on the beams? I'm not too concerned about that. It is what it is. I will fix that when I put the trim at the bottom, I think. I hope. It's been really cold of late, and I need to start patching up some of the holes that remain in the structure. There is this gap between the ceiling boards, the beam, and the roof. You can actually see all the way into the waterproofing material in the roof there. Only a part of it was foamed, and that's because there was water coming through this section right into my electrical board before we did the third fix, I think it was, on the roof. But anyway, it is time for me to try and patch this up. I've put some plastic against my beautiful freshly painted walls, and I do hope that will be sufficient, because I'm gonna have to use this horrible stuff, I really don't like spray foam, to try and fill some of that gap. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it just has to be something, because eventually I will put some kind of cornice over that to make it look a little prettier. But let's give this a shot. Eek! Here is nothing. Yeah. No. Look at this! No, this is gross! How do you keep it in there? How do other people make this look so easy? No. Okay. Take two. I mean, I'm actually kind of wondering if I got the wrong foam. Is there such a thing as wrong foam? It says, God, this stuff is sticky. It says universal application, but now I'm wondering, oh God, this is going everywhere. Did I get the wrong stuff? I'm gonna just do one more attempt, and then I'm gonna have to try and find something else. Ah! No. I don't think this is the right stuff. Oh. Want to see what I'm doing? Come closer. This window frame was never sealed since it was put in. If you look quite carefully, that's quite a big gap between the wall and the frame, and that is open. Let me see if I can show you. You can see my fingers there. I'm siliconing on the inside to try and just close this gap, because This is obviously open. Sorry, I mean, this goes through to the outside. So this lets air in all the time. And with it being winter, it gets pretty frosty at night. So all this air blows through these open gaps. I don't have the correct silicone at the moment, but it's gonna have to do. It will also just do the job to close these gaps. It doesn't have to be the prettiest of solutions, but it just has to close. I will probably need to go all the way around, even the bottom. But this is the biggest one, the one at the top. This was always going to be a temporary window because ultimately I want to replace this with double glazed PVC. At the moment, this is not even single glazed. It's a steel frame window. I put this in here to save money, and I will eventually take this out and replace it with double glazed windows and repurpose this window somewhere else. This, for those of you that have been watching since the beginning, when they put this in, unfortunately they broke the mechanism to open it. So I am not able to actually open these shutters. I will probably need to remove the mechanism and replace the mechanism to be able to open it. For the time being, it hasn't bothered me because I'm still working on everything else, but it would be nice to eventually be able to open this up and see that view. Definitely not going to win any awards, but that's okay. The gap is filled. I'm not sure if you'll see that on camera. That little faint glow back here is a nice silicone filling. At least it will be a barrier to the wind that was blowing through here. This gap is nearly a centimeter between the wall and this frame. So it was letting in a significant amount of cool wind. Well, alrighty. That certainly is a lot better. Look how bright it is. It certainly has brightened up my bedroom. I've forgotten to give you the best news. For a while now, I have been trying to get my habitation license, and earlier this year, the rules changed a little bit. So my lawyer and I decided that we would try again. And I've received my urban article. We registered the farm now from a rustic article to a mixed article, which is a combination of an urban article and a rustic article. Anyway, long story short, all this means is that my farm is now legal for habitation, and this is the best news I could get for the end of my year.